Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another meal prep video. If you want to see what we're making this week, then definitely stick around. All right, y'all, so we have a lot of really good recipes this week. I'm super excited, especially like my family loves meatballs and I have a meatball recipe that I'm gonna be trying out. So I am super stoked and I hope it turns out. So definitely stay tuned for that. So we have breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and dessert on the menu today. So let's just jump right in the kitchen and let's get started. So I'm just gonna cut up some of my vegetables that I have and clean up some of my fruits. I'm not gonna do all of them, but I am going to do enough to where it gives me a good start for the week. So you saw that I'm cleaning my strawberries and my grape tomatoes. I'm gonna clean up some grapes for the kids. I'm gonna cut up all my romaine, celery, and some green beans. And like I said, I'll still have to cut up and clean some vegetables during the week, but at least this gives me a good head start. So I'm just cooking up some chorizo because I'm going to have some of this for our breakfast this morning, and then some of it I'm going to set aside for our egg bites for during the week. Chorizo is done. Let's get to making these egg bites. All right, y'all, so I've made these egg bites before on my channel, but these are our absolute favorites, are the chorizo egg bites. So I'm going to start out by putting 8 eggs in this bowl. Then I'm going to throw in 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, a little bit of salt, pepper, and some cheese. And then I'm just going to whisk this puppy up. Now I'm just going to take my muffin tin and I'm going to give it a little spray so they don't stick. I just get the cooking spray from Costco because it's super cheap and it works really well. I know these aren't like super keto friendly, but this works for me. Now I'm just going to take the chorizo that I cooked up and I'm just going to put a small amount in the bottom of my muffin tins here. And it doesn't take a whole ton. So that's basically how I filled them. I've just filled just enough to cover the bottom and that's it, because I want that chorizo to also last so we can eat it this morning as well. All right, now I'm just gonna take our egg mixture that we mixed up and I'm gonna start pouring it in our muffin tin. All right, so I already preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And now we're just going to throw these in the oven for around 15 to 20 minutes. All right, it looks like our chorizo egg bites are done. I'm gonna take these stinkers out and let them cool. These look absolutely delicious once again. All right, so now I'm going to make some pancake egg bites. I've never made these before, so I hope they turn out. But I'm gonna start off by throwing the dry ingredients in my bowl here, and then I will throw the wet ingredients in there. So I'm gonna throw in 2 tablespoons of erythritol. Then we're gonna throw in 1 3/4 cup of almond flour. One teaspoon of baking soda. Just a pinch of salt. And that's it for the dry ingredients. So I'm just gonna mix up the dry ingredients a little bit before I add the wet. Now I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of melted butter. It says a 1/2 cup of unsweetened almond milk. I'm gonna use cashew milk because that's what I have. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then 3 eggs. Now I'm just gonna give this a quick stir. Now I'm just gonna get my mini muffin tray and I'm going to take all of our little paper baking cups and I'm going to place them in our muffin tray. All right, so our pan is filled with our liners. Now I'm just going to fill each and every one of them with our mixture that we just mixed. So that batter literally filled these puppies to the tippity top. So now I'm just gonna throw some Lily's chocolate chips on the top of these. I'm not gonna do a bunch, just a few. Just gonna sprinkle some on, don't need a ton. All right, so this is what our pancake bites look like. They look so good, look at that. I am going to bake these in an oven at 350 degrees, anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes. All right, so our pancake bites are done and they look absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna yank these stinkers out of these cups here and I'm going to let them cool. All right, so I did go ahead and just fill up some of these snack bags with some celery, and then I filled up some of these little containers that I got at the Dollar Tree. These are so handy. So that way Oscar can use these as a snack. I just filled up 3 of them because he doesn't snack like a ton. But this way we just have it available and ready just in case he does need a snack. Now I'm just gonna make some chicken salad for some of Oscar's lunch. Just using this canned chicken breast. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of mustard. A little bit of mayo. A little bit of sour cream. I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of cheddar cheese. A little bit of pepper. And a little bit of salt. And I'm just gonna add in some celery to give it a little bit of a crunch. And I'm gonna mix all this up. All right, chicken salad is done. All right, so this next recipe is gonna be for dinners or lunches or whatever anybody wants to use it for, but it is called low carb crock pot chicken soup. So I am just gonna take some of these chicken thighs here, and it's boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And I'm gonna take about half of this package because this package is like 3.5 pounds and it says to use 1.5 pounds. So I'm just basically gonna fill the bottom part of this crock pot with the chicken thighs here. So I think that is probably good. That's probably good. Then with clean hands, I am going to take this salsa and I'm just gonna dump this entire jar in here. It says a 15.5 ounce jar. This is 16, close enough. So I'm gonna dump this entire jar in here. I'm gonna put in this entire package of Monterey Jack cheese. This is an 8 ounce package. And then it says to use 15 ounces of chicken broth. This is 32 ounces, so I'm only gonna use about half of this. I'm just gonna kind of move this around just a little. Then I'm just gonna pop the lid on here. Then it says to cook this on high for 3 to 4 hours or low for 6 to 8. So I am gonna plug this stinker in and I'm probably just gonna cook it on high for 3 to 4 hours. Crock pot chicken soup is done and let me just tell you, it smells so good. So I am going to let this cool and I'm gonna throw it in the fridge and we are gonna have some yummy soup for the week. So then on the grill, I'm just grilling up some nice thick pork chops as well as some chicken thighs. And I'm telling you, it may look like a lot because I'm going to be doing a lot more chicken thighs as well, but it will get eaten up in my house. A lot of people are like, why do you cook so much food? I do because we have a lot of company, for one, and for two, I have several people in my household right now, so trust me, it will all get eaten. All right, so the pork chops are done and they look delicious. I'm gonna let them cool and then put them away. All right, so the chicken thighs are done as well. I started them on the grill and then I just finished them in my electric skillet, but I'm gonna let these cool and throw them in the fridge. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna make is low carb sweet and sour cocktail meatballs. And this in here is 1 pound of ground sausage and 1 pound of hamburger. I'm just gonna add, this is about 3 scallions right here. This is 1 teaspoon of liquid stevia, 2 eggs, and then about 2 garlic cloves, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of this 5-spice powder, 1/3 cup coconut flour. Then I'm just gonna go in with my hands and mix this up. All right, so I sprayed my crock pot. I am actually just gonna throw these meatballs in a crock pot. I've never done raw meatballs in a crock pot before, so I'm gonna experiment with this and see how they turn out. The directions actually say to cook them in an oven first, but y'all know I'm not very good at following the rules with the instructions, so I'm gonna do it my own way. But I'm just making these into pretty decent size balls there and just tossing them in the crock pot. All right, so I'm gonna scooch the meatballs to the side, and now I'm just going to make the sauce that's gonna go over the meatballs. So it's gonna be 1/2 teaspoon of liquid stevia. It says 8 ounces tomato paste. I'm only gonna use this 6-ounce can. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm gonna use 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. You're supposed to use 1/4 cup of rice vinegar, but I don't have any, so I'm using apple cider vinegar. 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. And 2 tablespoons of this sugar-free raspberry preserves. I'm just gonna give this a good whisk. Now I'm just gonna pour this over the meatballs. All right, so that's what it looks like. Again, I'm experimenting by just throwing it in the crock pot without cooking the meatballs, because technically you're supposed to put the meatballs in the oven and cook the meatballs first, and then you were supposed to make the sauce on the stove top in a saucepan. But I'm just doing this as an experiment, so I will let y'all know if it turns out. All right, guys, so I popped the lid on there. I'm gonna cook this on low for around 6 to 8 hours. And again, I'll let you know if it turns out like this. All right, so our meatballs are done. They turned out actually just fine. The meatballs are still intact. Doesn't that look delicious? So, the crock pot thing, I guess, was a success. So, I'm gonna let this cool. And I am going to throw this in a container and put it in the fridge. All right, now I just have my donut pan that I lightly sprayed, and now I'm just gonna fill up all the donut holes with the batter here. Y'all, the donuts are done, and let me just tell you, we have had these donuts before, and these donuts are delicious. This is one of our favorite desserts, and if you noticed I didn't share the full entire recipe with you guys, that's because these donuts, this recipe is going to be coming in my next dinner and Dollar Tree, or dessert and Dollar Tree. So stay tuned for my very next dessert and Dollar Tree, which I will be uploading on Friday this week. That's where I'm gonna share this recipe right here. But let me just tell you, like I said, we've had these several times and these are bomb. All right, so that was my meal prep for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that gave you some inspiration, motivation, and some ideas for you and your family. And then just to give you a heads up, the meatballs were bomb. They were absolute bomb. They were a hit in my family. And then the Pancake Bites, Oscar really liked them. Tyler said that they were okay. And I personally haven't tried them. So I just thought I would give you kind of a review as far as what my family thought of some of those recipes. And the chicken soup was a hit as well. So again, I hope that gave you guys some ideas for you and your family. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys, and don't forget to go out there and make today even better than yesterday. I will see you in my next video.